Ever wonder what it takes to go from a kid in dance class to swinging through New York City as Spider-Man? Let's dive into the incredible journey of Tom Holland. Hi, I'm Leah. I'm super excited today to talk about one of my favorite actors.
And I'm Garrett, ready to dive into this topic with you all. Welcome to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
Today, we're exploring the life and career of Tom Holland, the charismatic British actor known for his portrayal of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the big connected world of Marvel superhero films and shows.
Okay, quick story. When I was a kid, I tried to do that Spider-Man flip off the couch. You know the one. Hands on the floor, feet fly over. I did not stick the landing. I basically face planted into a pile of pillows. That's when I realized the real Spider-Man guy, Tom Holland, actually learned gymnastics back in his Billy Elliot stage days. So yeah, turns out there's a reason he makes those flips look so easy.
Real talk. Tom Holland is a British actor, full name Thomas Stanley Holland, born in Kingston-upon-Thames in southwest London. He went from the West End stage to global movie stardom, and he's best known as Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man in the Marvel films. If you've seen Captain America Civil War or Spider-Man Homecoming and No Way Home, that upbeat, agile teen hero is him.
And the foundation is wild. He got into dance young, like hip-hop classes, then moved into ballet and tap for Billy Elliot. That early movement training and later gymnastics weren't just hobbies. They basically became a career superpower. It's how he sells the physics of Spider-Man without it looking forced. That blend of dance control and gymnastic agility gives him, that springy, believable motion.
He didn't start on film, though. He started on stage in Billy Elliot the Musical, which is a hit West End show about a boy who discovers a love for ballet. From there, he shifted to the screen with The Impossible, a disaster drama directed by Juan Antonio Bayona, a Spanish filmmaker known for emotional, visually striking stories. That performance launched him into movies with serious critical praise.
Let's set the early scene. He grows up in a creative family. His mom, Nicola, is a photographer, and his dad, Dominic, is a comedian and author. That's a household where stories, timing, and images are like everyday air. He was diagnosed with dyslexia at 7, and his family moved him and his brothers to a private school so he could get the right support. That put a strain on the family finances, but it also helped him find his footing. That choice shows how his family supported his learning needs.
Here's the discovery moment. In 2006, he performs hip-hop at the Richmond Dance Festival. Lynn Page, a choreographer who worked with Peter Darling, spots him. Quick note. Lynn Page is a respected choreographer. Peter Darling choreographed Billy Elliot, and that connection led to an audition set up with director Stephen Daldry, who's a major British theater and film director. Daldry praised Tom's natural acting instincts. That was the spark.
By June 2008, he was on the West End stage at the Victoria Palace Theatre as Michael in Billy Elliot, and later that year he was promoted to the lead role, Billy. He even performed while battling tonsillitis at first, which is nuts. During this run, he wasn't only dancing, he started learning gymnastics. That physical toolkit stuck. It's like building a chassis for everything he does later on screen.
But there's a personal cost. He talks about being bullied at school for dancing. Returning to regular school after professional theater is, a crash of two worlds. He said that maturity gap left him feeling isolated, and his GCSE grades suffered. That's a rough patch, but it also explains why he comes across with empathy and a kind of down-to-earth vibe today.
The bridge to film starts with voice work in 2011 on the British dub of Arrietty, which is a Studio Ghibli movie about tiny people living secretly in a house. Then in 2012, he landed The Impossible. Director Juan Antonio Bayona had him audition with an emotionally raw letter to his mother. That authenticity got him the role. At TIFF, critics praised him. A.O. Scott of the New York Times called him a terrific young actor. That was a big critical stamp early.
Why did that particular film click for him so strongly?
Because it forced him to switch from stage scale to camera scale. On stage, you project big. On camera, you dial way down. The Impossible had brutal water tank sequences with Naomi Watts, who's an Oscar-nominated actor known for roles like 21 Grams. That combo of physical endurance and intimate, close-up acting showed he wasn't just a stage kid. He could carry a camera's gaze.
Then came the tidal wave moment. In 2015, he signed with Marvel to play Spider-Man. The directors Anthony and Joe Russo, who helmed Captain America: Civil War and later Avengers films, ran a global search. About 1,500 teens auditioned. His dance and gymnastics differentiated him, and Stan Lee, the Marvel Comics legend, even said Holland matched the age and height he pictured for Peter Parker. That's like being blessed by the character's co-creator.
He debuted in Captain America: Civil War in 2016. Critics loved him, and that movie crossed $1 billion. Then Homecoming in 2017 made him the youngest actor to headline an MCU film. Over time, you get Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame, both over $2 billion globally, and Far From Home in 2019 crossed $1 billion, the first Spider-Man to do that. Then No Way Home in 2021 was gigantic, the highest-grossing film of that year and among the top all-time. His films as lead or co-lead have grossed about $10 billion worldwide. That's bananas.
Speaking of the public side of fame, there's also the spoiler legend. He gets teased as the least trustworthy for spoilers. The Russo brothers apparently gave him only his own pages, not full scripts, especially on Avengers: Endgame. That sounds extreme, but it's a kind of workflow hack, and it turned into a funny part of his public persona. Quick note, persona just means the way a person presents publicly.
Meanwhile, he's been pushing himself outside the suit. In Ron Howard's In the Heart of the Sea, which is a survival-at-sea drama with Chris Hemsworth, he crash-dieted with the cast and did a lot of his own stunts. In The Lost City of Z, he broke his nose trying a backflip. That's commitment and maybe a little youthful swagger. Later in Cherry, he weight-cycled and studied veterans, and in The Devil All the Time, he took on a deep Southern accent for a dark character. Not every film lands with critics, but you can see the craft hustle.
He also talks honestly about mental health. He calls himself an impossible people-pleaser and mentions hitting burnout, even vomiting after a press conference once. After The Crowded Room on Apple TV Plus in 2023, which he also produced, he took a year off to reset. Around the same time, he went teetotal, meaning no alcohol. He started with Dry January 2022 and kept going. I appreciate that he frames this as finding boundaries, not drama.
A high point in the rise phase was No Way Home, which proved event movies could still be massive mid-pandemic by tapping nostalgia across generations. He also kept range going with Uncharted in 2022. Critics are split on whether he's perfect for Nathan Drake, but the movie made serious money, helped by his star power. That four-quadrant appeal, meaning it pulls men, women, young, and older audiences, is rare.
Then he expanded behind the camera. In 2024, he launched a production company called Billy 17 with a deal at Sony Pictures, which lets him develop and shape projects. He invested in Dog Pound Gyms in 2022, and in 2024 launched a low-alcohol beer brand, which aligns with his sobriety. He also returned to the West End in 2024 as Romeo in Jamie Lloyd's stark modern Romeo and Juliet. Lloyd is a British theatre director known for minimalist, high-concept staging.
On the personal side, he and Zendaya, who's his Spider-Man co-star and an Emmy-winning actor and singer, confirmed their relationship in late 2021, got engaged in December 2024, and in June 2026, he confirmed they were married. He keeps things pretty private. He still lives near family and roots for Tottenham Hotspur. That grounded London life seems to anchor him.
And career-wise, he stepped into Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey in 2026 as Telemachus. Nolan is the acclaimed director behind films like Inception and Dunkirk. Playing the son of Odysseus in a classic epic is a major shift from quips and webs to myth and scale. He's also slated to return to Spider-Man in a film titled Brand New Day, so we're clearly not done with his Peter Parker yet.
Before we move on, quick question for you. Why did his dance and gymnastics matter so much in the Spider-Man auditions?
Because physical storytelling sells character truth. Dance gives body control. Gymnastics gives aerial awareness. When he leaps onto a wall or flips over an enemy, He knows exactly where the camera is and how to land the motion so it feels light and agile. That lets stunt teams blend practical moves with visual effects more seamlessly. In short, it makes Spider-Man feel like a teenager who's actually buoyant, not a rigid adult in a suit. Now, one tricky chapter. In March 2026, Zendaya's stylist Law Roach, who's a prominent fashion figure, made a public comment that they were secretly married. Then AI-generated wedding images flooded social media, creating confusion. Only later, in June 2026, Tom confirmed to Esquire UK that they were married. It was a clean resolution, but the muddle before it showed how fast misinformation can spread.
Yeah, deepfakes. AI-manipulated images or videos that look real are getting convincing. One view is that public figures will need stronger verification habits, confirmed statements through trusted outlets, blue-check posts, or even watermarked official images. It's not fun, but it's a practical defense layer. That said, it still feels like a game of catch-up.
I feel a little stronger about the personal impact. It's not just a nuisance. It can erode trust and create emotional stress, especially around life milestones. If you can't control your own wedding imagery, that's invasive. And for fans, it's confusing. I think platforms and press need firmer standards for verifying celebrity personal news before amplifying it. Real talk, it's about consent and clarity.
Totally. The silver lining is that Tom's calm confirmation helps. A quick, authoritative statement cuts through noise. Maybe that's the pattern going forward. Short, verified updates, then back to privacy. It's a bummer that it has to be that way. But yeah, clarity beats the rumor treadmill.
Where AI overlaps with his public image in a lighter way, he's also got a pop culture footprint that's just fun. His lip-sync battle performance in 2017, where he did Rihanna's Umbrella in drag, became iconic. Quick explainer. Lip Sync Battle is a TV show where celebrities perform choreographed numbers, syncing to famous songs. That routine showed his fearless performance side and dance roots.
And the spoiler reputation is a friendly brand quirk now. It creates those playful late-night moments and press junket jokes, studios adapted by locking down scripts around him. It's kind of meta. The guy most likely to spill secrets becomes the guy handled like a secret. That humor kept the Spider-Man era feeling personable, not just corporate.
Counterfactual time. What if Lynn Page never spotted him at the Richmond Dance Festival? No audition for Billy Elliot, no West End springboard. What happens?
Okay, here's a thought. He liked carpentry and even attended a brief carpentry course in Cardiff as a teen. I could see him apprenticing, making custom pieces, maybe even getting into set building for theater or film. That's still creative. Woodwork is like practical sculpture, and with his knack for performance, maybe he edges back to stage as a choreographer's assistant or stunt trainee later. The path's longer, but the movement bug probably brings him back to a stage door somehow.
I picture the teaching route he mentioned. Primary school teaching. He likes being around kids. He's patient, energetic, and good at physical storytelling. Those are perfect classroom tools. Maybe he leads a dance club after school, then directs a school play. Someone from a local theater notices, and he auditions for a community production. One role leads to another. Different entry point, same destination, just later. That's kind of heartwarming.
Yeah, that checks out. His drive seems portable. And he had the Brit School exposure too, which is a performing arts school in London. Even without that one dance festival moment, there were other on-ramps. The timeline shifts. The outcome might rhyme. Maybe we get Spider-Man a few years later, or maybe he becomes the go-to for grounded physical drama. Different fork, same energy.
Thanks for tuning in. Keep exploring and learning.
Stay curious, and we'll catch you next time on Laid Back Learning.